Hello my sweet crafting friends, welcome back to Sweet Bay Lane. Or if you're new, welcome, I'm Tracy. And I'm so glad you took the time to stop in and craft with us because the DIY craft project in this video will make a perfect gift for the upcoming holiday season or any gift giving opportunity really, especially if you're watching your budget or maybe you have someone on your list that's just very difficult to buy for. This gift will be perfect. Now, I'm making mine for my husband, and as some of you know, we recently lost our sweet Labrador girl. She crossed over the Rainbow Bridge on November 17th, and to say we are heartbroken is an understatement. But I do have to give a huge thank you, heartfelt thank you to all of you who reached out to me and reached out to us and covered us with your kind words and your loving thoughts and prayers. For that, we are eternally grateful. Now with that said, let's go ahead and move on to our DIY. In this DIY, we're going to be working with one of those wood trinket boxes from the Dollar Tree, along with some of our favorite photos printed out on a cardstock. We start our project by removing the hardware on our box. Once we have that done, we'll set our hardware and our screws aside and we'll glue our box together with some wood glue. And now that the glue has dried, we're bringing back in our photographs. And for this step, we're just going to take our box and we're going to trace around our photos. And as you'll see, the box on the hardware ends is thinner than the top and the bottom of the box. So just pick your photos that will fit within that space range. Then just trace around your photo and cut with a sharp pair of scissors inside your line. Now we're just going to Mod Podge our photos on all four sides of our wooden box. And I have found that using a sponge spouncer is the perfect way to apply Mod Podge. It leaves a nice even coat and it stays hydrated with the Mod Podge so you don't have any little dry spots on the back side of your photo or on your box. And if you have any like paper edges hanging over, you can just trim them with some scissors or with an X-Acto knife. Now I'm going to come in and stain the top and bottom of my box. You can also paint if you prefer that method. And while that's drying, we move on to our beads. I'm going to be using 2 of these square beads I purchased from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to just stain them and then wipe them dry. And now that everything's dry, we come back in with our Mod Podge and we're going to add a clear coat over all 4 of our photos. And for an added touch of sparkle, while the Mod Podge is still damp on my project, I come in with this iridescent glitter and add it to the edges of my project. The project is fine on its own if you don't want to add the glitter. I know a lot of people have opposition to the glitter, but for me it added a bit of magical sparkle to my project. And I just add a touch of the Mod Podge to the edge of my project and then just gently dip it in the glitter line. I do this for all 4 sides and the top and bottom of my project. And once the glitter's dried, we then come in with a dry brush and just knock off the excess glitter. Now we're going to add a hanger to our box, and to do this we're going to take some of this heavier twine I purchased from Walmart and one of our wooden beads. We start by trimming a piece of the twine and then stringing the 2 ends through our bead. Now that we have it through our bead, we're going to adjust it to the length of the hanger that we want for our box. Then we're just going to trim the ends of the twine, add a little touch of hot glue, and stick it to the top of our box, making sure that it's in the center. And I found to keep the glue from oozing out, make sure you put the glue on the twine and then slide the bead down to the glue. Then we'll take our second bead and glue it to the bottom of our box, making sure that the top and the bottom line up. I think it looks adorable as is, but I wanted to add a little bit of embellishment to mine, so I'm going to be using some of this gorgeous paw print ribbon I purchased from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to make 2 shoestring bows and glue them back to back on my wooden bead. And I will link the tutorial for the simple shoestring bow that I tied down in the description box below. Then once I have both my bows glued on, I then trim the ribbon tails. And And I finish off the bottom with a little jingle bell. And here's the finished ornament. This is my husband teaching our puppy how to catch a frisbee. Here he is at the beach with them. And then there's our beloved doggie we lost. She went over the Rainbow Bridge on November 17th. I also want to say a huge thank you to all of my crafty friends here on Sweet Bay Lane. You guys have been so supportive and I truly appreciate it, and we felt all the love. Well, until next time, keep it crafty.